Hello Biscuits, it's Cupcake Kamisama back here, and welcome to another installment of Vlogmas. Today's video is going to list 3 of my favourite Christmas songs, and I'll try and put together coordinates inspired by them. If you've watched the 10-day Lolita Challenge series, which I'll link in a corner, one of these is asked about songs that inspire you in this fashion, and I talked about how a lot of my outfits are inspired by particular songs or have theme tunes to them, so to speak. So I thought, well, hang on a moment, Christmas songs, Christmas outfits. Disclaimer is that I have way more favourite Christmas songs than I'm listing here, but these are the 3 that I managed to think of a coordinate for. I'm not going to do a flat lay, because what I wanted to focus on is what would my ideal coordinate be if it was to be something inspired by that song. So I'm leaving this space purposefully empty, as I'm going to be inserting pictures of what I have in mind. However, I am restricting myself to using pieces that I do actually own. Whether those coordinates will ever happen remains to be seen. Probably not. Let's get right to it. I'll do these in the order of potentially least to potentially most controversial coordinates. And that means that I'm going to start with, okay, let's put it at number 3, even though it's not really. The song is Little Drummer Boy, particularly in the cover version by the Baseballs. As nice as the original is, I absolutely love the Baseballs. If you haven't heard of them, they're a German trio, and they take modern songs and cover them in 1950s rock and roll style. And they have a whole Christmas album, which, if you like 50s kind of music, I do recommend you try. And they've done Little Drummer Boy, and I think they've done very well by speeding that song up a little bit. It's a bit more upbeat. It's like a marching band song, and I think you have to do like a marching band coordinate with it. So I decided to use the pair of orgy pants that I have from Meta and build from there. So it would be a little orgy drummer boy. I believe that Alice and the Pirates have actually done a bag that's shaped and painted to look like a drum, so I'd love to use that. And provided that they'd go together, I'd like to use one of Angelic Pretty's circusy toy march parkas to keep it slightly more on the casual side. Obviously you'd need some sort of a hat, and then just some nice diamond socks or something like this, and some boots. Quite simple, but you can sort of obviously look at a coordinate like this, and if you then heard the song Little Drummer Boy, you'd go, oh, I see where it came from. Number 2 on this list is a song called Don't Let the Bells End by The Darkness. And the reason I love it is mostly because of the video. The song itself is great, but for me it's the video that makes it, because the frontman of The Darkness is so ugly, but he's so confident that he's beautiful. It makes absolutely no sense unless you watch that video, but even though he's not a typically handsome man, because he has that charisma and he has the confidence and he just struts what he has, it's so mind-blowing that it makes him attractive despite him objectively not being attractive. Yeah, I can't help but smile every time I think of that video or every time I see it. And I think if I were to do a coordinate for that song, it would be very much inspired by him. So there's a scene in there where he wears white leather trousers that are like all laced up at the sides. Quite tacky, really. And I'm not gonna go that way, but I think it's fair sort of nod to it if I did an all-white coordinate with maybe like a little bit of a rocky edge to it. So definitely Alice and Pirates Rosea Fleur JSK. And you know those like fishnet tights with ribbon laced through them that have come round through La McKay and AP kind of popularised? Those in white I think would go quite well. I think boots might be a best option here. Because again it has to have that rock edge to it. It has to be a bit rock and roll. Maybe try and break the rules and forego the blouse but wear a biker jacket. I'm torn between going for a white one and keeping the coordinate all white, or maybe picking a red leather one and sort of trying to maybe go for a rock Santa look, because in that video there's kind of a vibe there of like rock Santa, and then top it off with a Santa hat. But whichever jacket I'd go for, definitely keeping a Santa hat on, because you can't take it too seriously. It's not. I mean, the song is quite serious when you listen to the lyrics, but the video is absolutely not. So you have to sort of take it back, relax a little bit, and have fun with it. I think a coordinate like this would be a perfect match for So Ugly He's Beautiful British rock frontman in white leather trousers. Because why not? And number one, it's definitely a number one as far as song goes. And I'm sure the rest of the British nation, or the majority, will agree with me. And it's the Pogues with Kirsty MacColl's Fairytale of New York. If you're not British, you might struggle to understand why that song is A, Christmassy, and B, so popular. Because it took me a while to grow to like it and to appreciate it for what it is. But I think the reason why it pulls on the heartstring for so many people in the UK is because it's not trying to glamorise Christmas, but rather tells it as it is. As in, you'll have some great times and you'll be chasing your dreams and making each other promises that things will be wonderful. And there will also be times where you can't even bear to look at each other and will call each other names, because ultimately that's life, and life isn't perfect. That's my take on it. I think most people just like it because you get to the verse where if you're singing you get to insult each other. I vividly remember watching a video of what was it, like Americans reacting to Fairytale of New York, and they were all very confused as to why that's a Christmas song. Having said this will be the most controversial coordinate, because I can see it in my head. I probably wouldn't do it, but it'll be interesting to see how it comes up once I start putting pictures together. I will definitely use the tartan JSK from Hearty that I have. A, because it's tartan, so it's already quite simpler. B, because all the ruffles around the bodice and the hem are not hemmed, so they're slightly ragged. But thirdly, because whether it actually is old school or not, it kind of fits more with an old school vibe. And I'd like to take this coordinate more in that direction, but not the kind of polished old school. I read a wonderful blog post by a blogger called Ophelia Hart, I want to say. I'm very sorry if I don't remember it right now. I'll put a link to it in the description. But as a wearer of old school Alita, she's put a fantastic guide of how to dress in old school authentically, as in she deconstructed the very early Lolita like the late 90s, early 2000s, into separate pieces and said, this is how you actually do it authentically to the time period. And a lot of it is very messy. I mean, you can see that when you look at all the GLB snaps or fruit snaps. It's not messy, but it's far less polished than the Lolita we're used to seeing right now, because people would buy 1 or 2 pieces from the brands and then make do with everything else, and that's the vibe I want to go with for this outfit. So I want a hearty JSK, and that's, it'll be great to have some rocking horse shoes in black. And with rocking horse shoes, I do like the look of lace topped under the knee socks, and maybe like a large Peter Pan collar blouse with like cotton lace or crochet lace, because again, that's very kind of old school, but also together with, especially if the blouse would be white, together with a tartan dress, it would give off that cozy wintry feeling. And that would be the Lolita base of that outfit. Then to make it inspired by that song, I would chuck on an oversized chunky knit sweater cardigan type thing. You know, the kind that sort of almost looks like it's gonna eat you. And the longer ones, you know, with like Sweet Lolita that has the bell shapes, you want a cropped cardigan, was because this dress is A-line, and again we're going for more messy, old school inspired vibe. The longer cardigan would be better, but it has to be oversized. Then to make it even more trampy, it would be great to have a pair of fingerless gloves. Not the cutesy kind that, you know, that you can turn into mitts and have like characters on it, not like the greengrocers in winter black fingerless gloves, or the kind that, you know, you literally see that someone's got an actual glove and chopped the fingers off to make it fingerless. Something like this. And I can't quite decide what to do about the head. Part of me wants to keep it without a hair accessory, so I don't know, I'll play around with the photos and see which one looks best. One of these will probably be what I end up with. But yeah, this is the least Lolita one of the 3 coordinates, but I think if you don't look it as a Lolita coordinate but treat it as this is a brainchild of the song and the fashion, taking aspects from both but treating them quite loosely, and just this is what came out of it. I think it could look quite fun. Like I said, there are a couple of more songs that I'd say are my favourites at Christmas, I love listening to, but even though I tried to come up with some outfits that would be inspired by them, I think in the end they ended up being a bit too generic and just sort of, this could have been any, the inspiration could have been anything rather than this is definitely inspired by that particular song. So I'll leave it right here. If you are interested to see more song inspired coordinates, I encourage you to check out that video from the 10-day Lolita challenge. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. What's your favourite Christmas song? Do you have one? Is there maybe one that's only played in your country, or one that you feel your country is more fond of than anywhere else of the world? I'm very interested to know. Like I said, Christmas is my favourite time of the year, so always happy to expand on my Christmas playlist. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. comment on it, subscribe to the channel. You can also support me by buying me a cup of coffee. The link to my coffee page is in the description down below. You can also click on the eye in the corner and it'll take you to the full Vlogmas playlist, so you can see everything that I've done. There's a variety of different videos, so make sure to check them out. And as always, I encourage all of you to check out my blog, which is Cupcakes and Unicorns, where you'll find more Lolita content. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye!